This piece is on sincerity and what it means to be a real pioneer of consciousness. To be a true pioneer of consciousness, I believe you have to give up everything you think you know. That doesn't mean you can't have common sense. That doesn't mean that you can't have your inner knowings and inner truths. But you are always on a path of expanding what you think you know. So it's kind of like a story in a way, your life. It's a story that you are uncovering and unveiling one petal at a time. So what is perspective is something that I am always asking myself. What is perspective? If experience is all we have to go by, and that is our vantage point as to what we look through, as to what we see about reality, then whose is right and whose is wrong? I personally am a philosopher at heart, so I love debating with people and just talking about different ideas and perspectives. But the higher of echelon of consciousness you climb, the higher of concepts you start to understand. That doesn't mean that someone who has not experienced the same thing is a lesser being than you. What it means is simply that they have not had the experiential knowledge to get to where you personally are. So I think that we all always have room to grow in our own personal wisdom, in our own personal strengths, in our own personal reality, to share with one another what we know. But what is so important in my personal perspective is to have a sincere heart, to have a sincere mind, that you will invoke something that someone I know who is a teacher of mine calls the law of righteous self-interest. This can be misunderstood on the Ascension path, on any path of enlightenment, because you think if you are not selfless, then you are selfish. But if you don't take the time to look after yourself, before you look after others, before you become, a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a teacher, etc. If you cannot look after your own needs and what you truly require, your physical requirements, your mental, your emotional needs, if you cannot find your own inner being and what it is searching for, which is truly already found, the conundrum in that phrase, what you're looking for is already found, you just have to open it back up, then I believe one is lost and can never truly attain that which they are seeking themselves. So if our entire lives we were just searching for ourselves because we were ever hiding from ourselves and finding ourselves and hiding from ourselves, and that is the game we play as human beings, then I think that you can reach a point where you say, I am found, I am found, I am found, I am found, and there is no turning back at that point. If you wish to be someone who is truly found, yes, you will always find higher answers, higher resolvements to your problems, so-called problems. But there is a point of so-called enlightenment, whatever word you like to use, where you are just in a state of knowing. You know yourself, you know others' true selves, and you know that we all have parts of us that are so hurt, we often hide. So for me, the work that I do personally with those that I am the closest to is we go to that place in the heart that is hurt. And instead of just judging that hurt consciousness, we examine it and we let it experience itself. We just allow that space instead of judging it. And that's what we usually do in our human minds. We judge ourselves. We judge everyone else. But if you take the minute to realize this place is hurt and it needs to be examined and thoroughly looked at, if you can have that type of sincere heart first with yourselves before others, then I believe you can become a selfish, selfless being, which is what I personally believe true awakening is. It's about looking after your true self, knowing that that is what is important. It's that know thyself, what everyone is always searching for. It's finding your heart's core. No one can take that from you, no matter what others tell you. No one can take your personal I am presence, your personal self from you. That is impossible in what I call the real world. So there have been many sayings and teachers and things trying to make us believe that what we are can be robbed from us. But I believe in the beginning it was always ours to begin with. So the true spirit of this message is just to have a heart of sincerity, whether it's on the ascension path or being a hard worker, whatever you are doing. Like for myself personally, my path is very different than most. I have done a lot of yogic practices of meditation for many hours, for many days. I've worked many jobs. I've done many things in my life. I've lived many paths as one. They are all perfect and they are all the same and they all hold their place. But if you are on the ascension path or not on the ascension path, even though I believe we truly all are, and you have a job so you can't really afford to spend as much time with your personal self-training as others, I believe that is okay. If you are extremely involved on this path and on this journey with yourself and getting others on this path, I think that is awesome as well. Just know that where you are is not failing. If you keep a sincere heart, that you listen to what you need. If you need to take a drop off the planet and go live on an island to know yourself again, if that is what you need, you know that. If your friends and family don't know it and they just think you're crazy, it's their loss, it's not yours, because you know yourself again. You listen to that heart. If you need to work a 9-to-5 job, if you need to have that kind of so-called normal lifestyle, it's perfect. It's all perfect. It's so long as you listen to your own heart and what is good for you. I personally like to travel, but I'm also a homebody. So that's a conundrum for those who get to know me or already know me. To know that those two sides of my soul, of my spirit, are very, very strong. It's like the lone wolf and the social butterfly. I have both of those parts of me very strongly. So I'm always searching for that internal balance. So it's again about having an honesty with yourself, a sincerity that no matter what you are doing, it is good enough. It is always good enough if you're doing it from your true heart. I love you all very much. Namaste.